So here we have a horse I'm really excited about, and he did not disappoint at all today for his first ride. This is C Sweet Boy, and the worst thing about him is definitely his name. I guess we're going to call him C because I'm definitely not calling him Sweet. I guess Sweet wouldn't be too bad, but definitely not Boy. Anyway, so this is a 4 year old, definitely a growthy looking 4 year old to me. And he only had 6 starts. His last start was in February of this year down in Florida. And since then, and it was obviously he ran very poorly his last couple of times out. And so he got shipped back up here and he's been turned out at my friend's place since that start. And so he's at a couple months let down turnout, which is always very nice. And so he got here a few days ago. Obviously, he is stunning. He has a brilliant personality to match. He's just super friendly and chill and lovely to work with. So, this is his first post track ride. And he was a fabulous baby. I have absolutely no complaints about him. What you're seeing there is just the most typical baby syndrome ever, which is just a total lack of steering, and just that drift of that shoulder towards the gate. So that was pretty much what we worked on today. So you're seeing that here. I mean, when we're not on that sort of half of that short side, he's absolutely brilliant. He's straight, he's balanced, he's very naturally soft. Actually, so I had him in a loose ring snaffle here, and that was way too much bit. If anything, I thought that he was wanting to be a little too low in that. And when I was trying to make a correction, was straightening his shoulders, he was just sort of dipping behind or too low in that bit. It was just too much. So he'll definitely be back out next time in a probably the Hermspringer Duo, just a soft rubber bit. And so, people ask me all the time when they're asking me about horses, like, well, what's the worst thing they'll do? And what you just saw there, his lack of steering, his wiggliness in the corner, that is the worst thing this horse will do. I mean, he was just such a great brain, so happy and willing to do all the things. I love his canter on both leads. He has just a fantastic balanced, very self regulating rocking horse type balance. As I said, I would like him in a softer bit. I'd like to get his pole up and his nose out a little bit more. But the first post track ride is just an evaluation of what we're starting with. And I have zero complaints about what I'm starting with. This horse is lovely. He has a great brain. He has a great way of going. He's very naturally soft and over his top line. So he's starting with all the right pieces. It was also just unbearably humid today in Maryland. It just all of a sudden felt like the end of July weather. So him and I were both got exhausted quite quickly because you just basically felt like you were swimming in the humidity. And so, I don't know, sometimes I think that I'm too soft. I probably am sometimes, but I just really I didn't want to make too much of a production about the outside shoulder. I wanted him to have walk away from this ride feeling like, okay, this is a not a bad thing to be doing. So of course we will work on it. But from my point of view, when you have a first post drag ride and your only complaint is that they fall out the outside shoulder, you have no complaints. And so then I got smarter as I went here. Also, we were getting very hot and overheated, so I realized I had to smarten up uh, to make this ride go a little quicker. So to the right, I did a lot of circle at this end of the ring on a circle, which really helped to get that right shoulder straightened up and under control. And that's what he'll be doing in his next several rides. I also grabbed the dressage stick, and that's literally all it is just a visual reinforcement of my outside aids for him. I actually thought that to the right, he was just as nice as to the left. Here, I think he gets a little bit low sometimes, but there we go. He brings his pole back up. He makes just a great shape. Super soft in his mouth. He is very quiet to ride. I mean, just really nicely in the middle between woe and go. He's happy to work, but in no way quick or sensitive in the least to your aids. You get to happily put your leg on, um, flop around a little bit if you want to. He's not going to be bothered by any of that. So he very much is married to the left lead right now, and he does a phenomenal left lead transition. I asked a few times for the right lead, and he's just too balanced on the left right now to even consider it. And we don't have the straightness in the shoulders, so we're just not even prepared to work on getting the right lead yet. So I took my time with him. We took a long walk break, walked over poles in both directions a whole bunch, and then we did get our right canter over poles, which worked out great. And then once he's in the right canter, he has a beautiful right canter. It's just as balanced as the left. He just doesn't understand yet the cues or the straightness for picking up the right lead. We used our circle a bunch. That really worked wonders. And actually, if you go back and watch when we started to the right to where he is here now, he's so much straighter through the outside aids on that circle. His canter is just so lovely and incredibly easy, comfortable, fun to ride. Just very self regulating. Really nice down transition there. I mean, he's certainly the type where you never feel like you have to have a grip on the reins. You know, you could drop the reins, ride with one hand to wipe your sweat away, which is what I was doing, and no worries, he's not going to change. And then so this is him on cross ties, which I think really does a good job of showing his adorable little personality, which he certainly does has. He looks adorable and his personality perfectly matches that. He's just been a complete all-star to work with.